What's going on, guys? We're gonna try and fix the Famous Moroso oil pan leak. So I've had this pan for a little over a year now. I've pulled it off 4 to 5, maybe even 10 different times trying to get this leak fixed, and it just keeps leaking and leaking. And we actually found out last time that the pan's bent a little bit. So I don't know how it got bent or when it got bent or if it got shipped bent, but everyone who I've talked to that has had this pan has switched it out for a stock one because they couldn't get it to not leak. So hopefully in this video we can make this pan not leak and show you guys how to do it too. So we're gonna pull the pan off and get it nice and clean. We got a brand new gasket for it that Moroso just made. It's a steel reinforced gasket, so you can't over tighten it. I mean, I'm sure you can, but you can go over to 8.7 foot-pounds, what it's supposed to be at, and not having to worry about it getting too tight and leaking. So with that gasket, and they say don't use any RTV, but with how many times I've pulled this pan and it's still leaking, I'm putting some RTV on that pan. So yeah, we'll get the car jacked up, oil pan dropped, cleaned, and show you the process. Oil pan is pulled. Every time I pull the pan, I like looking at my rods. Make sure everything still looks good underneath. Nothing weird. 9,000 plus RPM pulls. 22 pounds of boost. Nothing in the pan. So you can see there was already RTV all around it, a lot, and it's still leaked. Excuse my language, I'm trying not to cuss.
With the gasket as well.
With the gasket, still leaked, but oil still looks good, fresh oil. So yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but gasoline and blue Scotch Brite, this kind of Scotch Brite, these pads do wonders when you're trying to clean gasket. A lot of people don't know it, but this is a little trick. Gasoline and Scotch Brite pads does not scratch aluminum or nothing. Just watch the magic, it works. Nice, clean dining. So after laying the pan on concrete, we're able to see that the pan does bow in a little bit, about right there. So this corner is sitting a little bit higher than this one, which is causing the pan to bow in a little bit right there. So we're gonna take this mallet and we're just gonna give it some taps around the sides, and then we're just gonna keep putting it back on flat concrete, seeing if we can get it close. It is pretty close right now, so just a few taps, clean surface, some RTV, she's gonna be ready. Hopefully you guys will see. There it is. This angle though. Should we check it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold this. Let's go over here. A little wiggle.
Yeah, she's still gonna wobble.
Try it over here. So this corner.
Yeah, it looks like it's the far left corner.
It's a little play.
So it's twisted a little bit. Yeah,
So
that's why it's like that.
definitely. So this corner, this corner, this corner is all sitting flush. This corner, it's got play.
Well, so our problem's underneath the return line.
More hammering.
Looks like it dips down right here too. Go back a little further.
I think it's the way the concrete's sitting. Because after doing that, it's feeling like it's on this side. So, got this straight edge. Putting it on the pan. Making sure it's flat on one end, flat on the other end. I know that part of the pan is straight. I checked corners. This corner had a little bit of gap. I could see through it. Did a little bit of hammering. Now it's flat, or at least a lot more close. For the most part, the whole surface area is flat. There's still like a little bit of gap that comes out on the side, but I still have all that surface gasket that should make it seal. So I'm pretty, it should seal up now. New gasket, a bunch of RTV. It's also got the oil pan stud kit on, which Moroso recommended to get. So let's see if she seals up now. The famous Moroso oil pan leak. Let's see if we can make it solved with the sledgehammer, straight edge, and manpower. Alright, so I've got everything clean. The pan was a little bit bent, so we bent it back into place as best as we could. We used our straight edge to make sure that it was straight. So what we did is made sure that our surface area is completely flat, along with our other one completely flat, so we know our pan's flat. We checked our corners, and the pan came out pretty straight. There was a little bend right here. I can even pick it up on camera. It's not even, it's not terrible, but it's got this little bit of play on the end, which, there we go, right there. It's got that little bit of play, but for the most part, the surface area is 100% in contact. Same with that side, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, everything's clean, dry. I'm gonna put on RTV. So I'm gonna put around a little layer, just kind of thin at first, get it all smoothed around. Let it get a little bit thick, just a little bit, and then I'm gonna put another glob around the whole outside. Then I'm gonna put the gasket on, slap it all together, and if it leaks, I don't know. The pan's straight, so the pan's good. Brand new gasket. That's a steel reinforced gasket, so there's like no way to over tighten it. I mean, if you know how to put on an oil pan, the bolts go on very loose. You know, 8.7 foot-pounds of torque, so should be good. If it's not good, I don't know. I tried though. We'll see. And for the RTV, we're using the basic O'Reilly's Ultra Black Maximum Oil Resistant. Just blew out the pan with the air compressor, Harbor Freight Special. And we're just going over the pan with a light layer at first, and then we'll just glob it on a little bit more on the second time around. Kind of hard to do it one-handed, but it's whatever. There we go. Nice even layer. Then when it starts getting a little bit thick, we'll put on just a little bit more, and then we'll install the pan. Actually, this is kind of a thick coat. We might just kind of send it home like this. I didn't mean to put this much on, but it's alright. Yeah, this is definitely going to be enough RTV. But yeah, I think you guys get the point with RTV. Nice even layer around the whole pan. And I am not using RTV on the motor side. I've made that mistake before, and I had to clean it for a couple hours with the flywheel on, and it just wasn't fun. So I'm pretty sure that the bottom of the block's flat, so the pan is the only thing that we're gonna need RTV for. Yep. I like feeling when I get parts, or when I'm about to install a gasket, make sure there's not a layer of oil or packaging oil or whatever it is, but sometimes on parts there's a little bit of oil, like on head gaskets and stuff, there's oil on them, and you got to clean them before you install them. So if it was nice and dry, double checking everything to make sure this pan does not leak. It's a steel reinforced oil pan gasket. Feels like a regular one, so weird. Everything's all nice and clean under the motor. I'm gonna hit it one more time before I install everything, since oil leaks. So hit it one more time with the rag, make sure it's 100% completely dry, and then throw on the pan. Getting the oil pan on, got my little impact. I'm just trying to get the bolts hand tight. It's hard to film with one person, but I'm just trying to get the bolts close to hand tight to make some of the RTV pop out a little bit. Then I'm gonna let it sit for about an hour, and then I'm gonna torque it to spec. Bam. Trying to get all the longer studs close so I can tighten everything by hand. Kind of bad angles right now, but where is it? There it is. Don't want to do it too much, just enough. Good. There it is. Good. And now I can do the rest by hand. Just wanted to do it enough so I start seeing gasket maker pop out the sides. Right here you can see perfectly the gasket makers start to squeeze out. So we're gonna let it sit for another half an hour longer, let it get nice and thick, and then we're gonna torque it all to spec with what Honda recommends. Torque it in the star pattern that you torque everything else. And she should be completely sealed and redone. Put some thread tape on the oil return. May not be necessary, but just to be safe, we want to make sure that it's not leaking from anywhere. And yeah. And we're ready to torque the Spec now. Got my ratchet. Keep my hand close to the end because we don't need to get it very tight. And we're just gonna go ever so lightly. Go over to the other side. Until it starts feeling a little bit snug on your hand. Gonna hit the other side. Start doing the corners. Watch the gasket. Make sure it don't start coming out. Hit it in a star pattern. Watch for the gasket. It's kind of hard to see, and lighting kind of sucks. It actually really sucks, but you gotta work with me. It's gonna take a while to get this down. But yeah, I think you'll get the point through the rest of it. Just star pattern, nice and snug is all it takes. It don't take much. Keep it going. See if we can get the gasket.
I'm changing. I just need
And go up to this one. It's good there. And go over here. Already did that one. So we're gonna go to this one.
We were fighting back and forth like you were wearing a thing. Passionate people not afraid to say what they think. Passionate conversation when it's hard to agree. You know me well. Sitting on the edge of my seat, looking at life, over analyzing everything. Always trying to find a better version of me. Searching for something I was probably right in front of my feet.
Check over here.
Close to it. Got a lot of issues and trying to work through. Going to therapy for you something that's worth doing. When I know you've been there for me through all of my worst moments, and I know it hurts knowing that I carry this
Over here. Gasket's not popping out anywhere yet. It's always a good sign.
We go to bed angry. I know everything will be alright. I'll be here waiting. I promise.
Apologize now if this video is not going to be the best quality. It's kind of hard to watch the wrench and the camera at the same time. And now we're going to go over here. Maybe if I just scoot it back a little bit. That one's good. And I think we pretty much covered them all. So now I'm gonna go around. Oh, there's one we missed. So if we missed that one, probably missed. So now we'll go around in a circle, watching the gasket while we tighten the nuts. So let me switch hands. So when we tighten the bolt, we shouldn't see the gasket pop out. Just nice and snug. Where is it? Where is it?
Even if we
There it is.
down tonight, and you say you hate me, and we go to bed angry, I know everything will be alright. I'll be here waiting. Promise I'm changing.
And now we can say the oil pan is installed. I'm gonna wait to put oil in it until tomorrow, just to make sure that everything's all nice and sealed. Should be good. I also had a leak coming from my axle. I don't know if I can pick it up, but I need to swap out my axle seal because it was leaking under there too. So since I'm already under the car, I might as well bust that out. Got brand new axle seal in here from Honda. My tranny was just rebuilt not that long ago, so I don't know why it's leaking, but put some RTV around those too, and should be good. Alright guys, it's getting kind of late. I spent all day learning how to figure out how to work this YouTube thing, get some videos uploaded. I know the last one, it's got this weird thing in the middle of it. I gotta figure out how to fix that, but I'm working on it. Just give me some time. Takes time to learn things, but where I'm leaving off on the car tonight, oil pan is done. Getting the axle pulled out so I can replace the seal. And then after that, should be pretty leak free. And then in the next future video, like I was talking about earlier, I want to see if I can hit 30 pounds on this little $100 eBay turbo. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not for sure, but that seems like it'll be a good video. See how long the eBay turbo can hold on. The $100 eBay turbo. Think it'll last on 30 pounds? I mean, I need to get a bigger one anyway, so why not? That sounds like fun.